We're going to get to the latest from Ukraine, of course. You're looking at new pictures of evacuations that are happening right now. Our team is reporting that there is a lull in the fighting in some Ukrainian cities, but as we've seen, those moments can change in an instant, and this temporary ceasefire is set to expire in just a few hours. But overnight, Russia did step up attacks on civilians in some areas, bombing the city of Sumy. That's near the Russian border. At least 18 people were killed, 2 children among the dead. George is going to be talking with the Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby. He's standing by. That's in just a moment.
But first, we're going to get right to Ian Pannell, who's on the ground in Kyiv with the latest. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. We've been seeing some heartbreaking scenes here. We're on the road to Irpin, this town that has been under heavy Russian bombardment for 3 days. Because the bridge there has been detonated, it means people aren't able to drive out with vehicles. So we're seeing ambulances ferrying backwards and forwards with people who are clearly highly distressed. A lot of elderly people coming out today, some of them just struggling to walk. Meanwhile, Russia now deploying 100% of those forces that it had amassed outside of Ukraine into the battle zone. And President Zelenskyy talking about these cities under siege like Mariupol, saying the people there are being tortured.
This morning, amid Russian claims of a temporary ceasefire in 5 major cities, thousands of people are fleeing areas that have been shelled for days. Overnight, the city of Sumy near the Russian border was heavily bombed. 21 people killed, including 2 children, according to local officials. This morning, the Red Cross attempting to evacuate civilians from the city. In Irpin, just outside the capital, a Russian bombardment and heavy fighting has devastated the town for days, driving people from what's left of their homes. The road impassable, the only way out now is on foot. From parents with young children to the elderly, towns and villages northwest of Kyiv are now being emptied as indiscriminate Russian attacks have already taken the lives of many civilians.
Yesterday there was the hardest bombing. And, the lights and the sound is so scary, and the whole building is shaking.
In the last 2 days, people trying to get out came under direct fire.
We're hearing the sound of fairly regular bombardment. We're close to the front lines. It's just down that road. The town of Irpin is being brutally shelled by Russian forces. Hundreds, thousands of civilians are desperately trying to get out of the town.
Tatiana and her 1.5-year-old daughter, Varvara, had to run overnight from the nearby town of Bucha, where their home was destroyed. She told us the most important thing now is that her daughter is safe. One resident from Irpin telling me that he had to dodge the explosions all around him just to get out alive. Images from around the country show the devastation that this war is bringing. An airstrike west of Kyiv destroying an oil depot. And in Kyiv, Ukraine's second largest city, civilian targets have been struck for days, although this morning the city does appear quieter. Deputy Mayor of Mariupol, Sergei Orlov, describing the devastation after 10 days of bombardment by the Russians.
There is no any building without any damages, so it also considered to school, kindergartens, hospitals. So city destroyed and destroying hour by hour, minute by minute. We didn't ask Russian army and Putin to come here.
As weapons shipments from NATO countries enter Ukraine, a senior US official tells ABC News there are concerns the Russians could target these supplies even in Poland before they get into Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy defiantly posting this selfie from outside his office this morning, saying overnight, "I'm not going anywhere." In an exclusive interview, David Muir speaking with President Zelenskyy with the Ukrainian government translator.
What's the most important thing you're asking the president for, asking the U.S. for right now?
The most important today is the security in the sky. We cannot allow Russia to be active there only because they're bombing us, they are shelling us, they are bombing us, they're sending missiles, helicopters, jet fighters. So a lot of things, but we are not doing this because we don't have the sky. We don't control our sky.
Do you believe the president could be doing more to help?
I'm sure that the president can do more. I'm sure he can.
Zelenskyy then with a message directly to Americans.
Americans, if you see and if you understand how we feel life, how we fight against all the enemies for our freedom, support us. Support us, and not only with words, with concrete, direct steps. Do it.
Well, this is why President Zelenskyy is appealing to Americans for support. Civilians are leaving. There's supposed to be a ceasefire. In the last hour or so, we've heard at least 3 large explosions.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.